Hi, welcome to Similar But Different, the podcast. Let's do that again. Okay. But I'm getting all the benefits.
Without having to pay.
Right.
Yeah, they screwed me. And then I found a bunch of friends that I was different from. I think I'd like the gram more if I got hit up in my DMs.
Okay, this should probably end. Hi, welcome to Similar But Different. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jen.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Rach.
How's it going?
It's great.
You were just talking about how proud you are for not wearing any black, except under her sweatshirt she is wearing black.
We're hiding it, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, well done. And
proud
you're
of
in
myself.
Structured denim, and
you're
I
not.
am very much not.
Switch role reversal
Yeah.
here, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds weird.
You're a big fan of the role
reversal? I don't know. It sounded a little, could be a little naughty.
Oh.
I don't know where my head went there.
Okay.
See, this is what.
Sure. Yeah.
What is going on in your head?
Quick Richmond update is that we are once again under a boil advisory. Hopefully, when this comes out a week from now, we won't be. But you were saying that you didn't wash your hair after physical therapy today, and I said I chose not to wash my hair this morning, but I kind of should have.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, ugh. Though we can shower, we just can't drink the water.
Yes.
But I actually haven't checked if we have water pressure, and I know some
Our
places
water pressure's
don't.
low.
Okay, so
Yeah, which is why I didn't shower post therapy.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got my hair cut, and I was like, luckily that was washed.
Oh yeah. Okay. And you did
for
that
the
today?
haircut yesterday.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I wanted to shower, but
Yeah.
now I'm like trying to figure that out.
Right.
We're literally going to be the next Flint, which I think there's already been a next Flint. Like it's happening across other cities where that's what's happening in Richmond. It feels like it's a serious water crisis.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, I have this water bottle right here.
They can't get it right, and it bothers me because this is a much larger issue than just one thing here and there.
Yeah. It's water over and over again.
Yeah. I get that like the one main thing was a huge blow up and like people were responsible as fuck, but like operational issues.
But also that time I'm like, great. So we got the person who didn't have a degree and this expertise out of the position. Now what is the excuse?
Well, that's what I said. They put it generically as operational issues you mentioned, and I'm like,
granted, it's not like you just immediately have someone who's qualified to put in the position. So
I guess.
I don't know. Even though maybe they did.
Maybe.
Who's to say?
I would hope so. Richmond, you're killing me. You
Literally.
Really are literally.
Yeah. With the water. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, actually, did you want to start with your question for the citizens?
Oh, yes. Citizens. Me speaking. This is Jen. Oh. That was weird. I want your help because I feel like I've asked this at the end of episodes and maybe I'm losing you, which is a whole nother problem. We'll get to that not today. But request is I'm serious. I know we're almost halfway through the year. We're halfway through the year. Holy shit. And my goal for this year is to produce swag. Even if no one wears it, I want to wear it. Rachel will wear it because I'll make her. But I want swag. So I want you citizens to give us some feedback on what swag you would wear. Doesn't necessarily, I don't need you to commit to buying anything. I just want you to tell me what swag you would wear. What's most is it apparel? Is it coffee cups? Yeah, what is it?
Is it a tote bag?
Is it a tote bag?
Do we all have enough of those?
Yeah. Is it a cute hat?
Ooh.
Because you have a cute hat on. Yeah, so one, what things would you want swag-wise? And then the other is if you guys have some cool ideas for a similar but different slogan, quote, something that's like, I'm not clever enough to come up with this, and I haven't been able to come up with it, so I am sourcing the citizens for help.
Yeah, so citizens, if you have any ideas, you can comment on this episode, you can DM us, you can email us, similarbutdifferentpod@gmail.com.
Yes,
we always love to hear from you.
Crushed it.
Speaking of hearing from you, I have some updates from last week's episode from some citizens. In last week's episode catch up, I asked if owls are actually intelligent creatures, or is that just a stereotype in cartoons? Citizen Skylar, also known as my husband, said owls are dumb and sent me a screenshot of something that, I'll be honest, I didn't look at it. but I'm going to trust that it was from a reliable source. Maybe,
husband.
Maybe not.
Owls are dumb. Damn.
A couple things from citizen Julia around Brussels sprouts we talked about in the catch-up episode. She said that Brussels sprouts are actually better tasting now because they are now selectively bred. So like what our parents ate, gross Brussels sprouts, they actually taste better now. They've like worked to make them taste better.
It's the sprout, not how we cook it or what we cook it in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the
It's a combo.
Cheese and vinaigrette helps.
Fascinating.
She also had a hot take on you brought up the best way to make nachos.
Yes.
And she said, question, based on this, which do you want to give a reminder of how this woman was suggesting you make nachos?
Yep, I saw this cool thing, guys, where she filled up a tray without the nachos as the base, with just the toppings that you would put on nachos, and she filled this whole tray up and she heated it up in the oven, got it all melty gooey, and then put a tray of chips down, and then all she did was slide all of the toppings onto the chips for immediate then chip eating rather than baking the toppings.
Okay, so Julia said, should nachos even exist? Wouldn't you then just take the tray with the toppings and take your chips and just dip it into the tray?
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's a thought starter. To which I said, no, I
like the stack.
And like being like, ooh, I got a really good one with the exact right amount of toppings.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Citizen Julia. I feel like at home that is my personal preference, is to just dip it, like when I make the buffalo chicken dip, or there's like the 7-layer dips, which is basically nachos in 7 layers. I do feel like I like that, but there's something different about like layering your Tostitos scoops and putting like American shredded cheddar on them and microwaving it.
Tostitos is the best like
chip base.
Yeah, grocery store chip.
Yes.
Tostitos.
Agreed. But yeah, no, there's something to that, but there's also like it's almost maybe we should say that's not nachos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fancy dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you know what? I don't want that.
When I have nachos, I don't want a dip.
No, I didn't, because like I want a tray plate of nachos.
Yep.
I don't want to be like, oh, maybe I'll just dip a few chips in here. No, I want the platter.
Yep, I'm with you.
Okay.
Although Citizen Julia's onto something there.
I think she's wrong. Okay, and then an anonymous citizen wanted to comment on. They didn't want to maybe call this other person out directly, about pooing in the woods and protocol.
Oh.
They said you should not put a rock over your poopies.
Oh.
It's not about politeness. It's about how they compost in the ground.
Oh.
And how deep you should bury it depends on the climate/location and what type of animals are around. So like bears getting into it versus like lizards getting into it and stuff.
Fascinating.
And at the Grand Canyon, they have also hiked the Grand Canyon, and their guide was like, don't do it on the main trail. They were not required to take their poopies out with them. And they didn't have to bury them as deep in there because it's such a dry climate.
Whoa. I did not realize there was such clear guidelines on poop etiquette in the woods.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So thank you to that citizen. And then I already shared this with you, but I think it's interesting. From citizen, what's their account name? Let's see.
Citizen
EasyVids 9341. You commented on our video with a heart eyes emoji about being able to see our shoes, liking the shoes. And I commented and said, so if you're into feet, do shoes still do it for you? Because I just assumed you wouldn't care if shoes were on. And they said, all caps, yes, There are different levels and taste.
Obvi.
Which I loved the obvi to make it playful.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny.
I also, I love that. That's my type of foot fetish.
Yeah,
shoes.
and I appreciated you responding to my genuine question.
Yes.
And so I think I said my theory to you now.
New theory.
That a sock is a bra.
Lingerie.
And a shoe is a top.
Yep. That gives you a little
like
cleavage.
Underwear and jeans, you know? That's the shoe is the jeans, the outer layer. And that's I'm like, oh yeah, I can still appreciate someone in a good pair of jeans or a nice top.
Yeah, I didn't say this to you back, but in my mind I imagine it's how I picture a man in a suit.
Yeah, but then also shoes don't really fit differently. You're not like, ooh, they are wearing that shoe. Unless it's like a high heel. But I'm like a sneaker. Unless it's a cool sneaker.
Yeah.
But you're not like, wow, that sneaker's really showing off her bunion.
True, but I feel like having quality shoes or looking good, starting with the shoe, bottom up, let's say, in this scenario, is like, ooh, that's what you need.
Yeah.
Like you could have a disgusting face, but if your shoes are just hot, now you've got something.
So there you go. For all those uggos, just get into sneakers.
I feel like that was aggressive too, but I don't know. I was just trying to like think of what it could be.
Well, it was aggressive when I said uggos. So.
Oh, that is fascinating.
There's
something
and someone out there for everyone.
The world of all of the different. I mean, there's a bunch of different worlds, but the world of this foot fetish that we've learned so much about is, I think I love it.
We haven't had any like sugar daddies reach us yet.
Sugar daddies.
But I feel like that's a thing.
What's that?
Old men wanting to pay for your life.
Oh, yeah, no. I feel like we have not talked. We haven't had that, but we haven't like really talked about. I feel like we talked about this before. I can't remember what the use case was. But we don't have any of those.
No, we don't.
But I never understood that. The scenario where they're like, yep, I don't actually want anything from you. I just want to support you.
You know, okay, so one of my good friends, she's in the music industry, and she has a lot of old men who, like, offer to buy her stuff and, like, oh, can I sponsor, like, you're traveling, I have points, you want a hotel room for the night, or oh, you want this voice lesson, like I'll buy that for you.
No quid pro quo.
Okay.
It just no.
And I think it is a mixture, and it probably depends on the daddy, but a mixture of like, they're like, ooh, young girl, and I'm doing these things for her, and like, oh, I am like taking care of you and I need to feel needed.
Ooh, okay. Okay, so it's not that I'm doing this and I expect something. It's yeah, okay.
Because I think most of the time some, they like really expect like gratitude, but never anything sexual. Like obviously if someone's buying you something, you should be grateful, but it's like I think like that they get off on that. Yeah.
I really there is a world out there that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
And by that I mean worlds.
Many worlds.
These are different worlds.
Yeah, the daddy world, the foot world.
I don't know if I want to know what other worlds exist. Yeah. Some of them I'm okay with not knowing.
Well, did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was wonderful because the weather was wonderful.
Oh, yeah, and we had a 3-day weekend.
We had a 3-day weekend. It was the perfect temperature, so I got a little, well, I say I got sun. This is how much sun I get. But I laid in the sun for a bit. I did a lot of
I could argue that you looked tan.
Yeah?
I was thinking you looked very like, I don't know if like awake is the right word or like fresh.
Oh.
So maybe you got a little sun kiss.
Yeah. That vitamin D will really do it for you.
The way you said that made it sound like dick.
That's where I was trying to say it like that. Anyways. Dick. You want this dick. God, I could go down a rabbit hole. But I had a very like me health weekend.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
knee health or me health?
Me,
Okay.
M-E. Yeah, Nathan got to do, like, he was in the garage doing a bunch of, like, stuff he wanted to work on, and I was just, like, living my best life.
Yeah.
Relaxing, outside in the sun. I'm working on this rug that I found that's probably from middle school. I don't even know how to explain it.
Working on a rug? Like you're weaving a rug, you're cleaning a rug.
I'm, like, weaving a rug, but it's not weaving.
Started in middle school?
Yeah, there was this kit that my mom gave me, and it's like fish, and it looks like a bath mat.
Okay.
And literally, there's like it's like a 2 or 3 inch piece of yarn that they have a bunch of different colors of.
Yeah.
And you take it and you weave it into this like base.
Okay.
And at the end of it, you have a rug.
That's a fish.
Like a fish rug.
Okay.
And
I'm into this.
I'll show you at the end of this.
I like fish.
And I apparently have held on to this and not completed it. We're talking about I started it, which apparently is why I didn't want to get rid of it because there was work put into it, but I have never and I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
So I ran into it when I was kind of cleaning out up here and was like, yep, I need to get this done.
Oh, wait, so it was in your home. It's not like your mom found it.
No, but I asked Mom, I was like, Mom, do you remember this? And she goes, oh my God, that has to be from like middle school. So how long ago is that? That's basically like 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Not fully 30 years ago.
Okay. You were not 6 in middle school.
Yeah. But like, what are you, 11? 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, almost. 25 years ago. Yeah. I was just surprised. So I got that out. I've been working on that. I opened up my new puzzle that I got for my birthday, 3,000 pieces. Already got the edges done.
Wow.
Going to town. Like, it was just all the things that I wanted to do.
Yeah. That sounds nice.
Yeah. Very, very healing.
Yeah.
How about you?
It was good. Skylar and I went to Farmville for a little day trip on Saturday. A little belated anniversary something to do, because we both went there, and that is where we met and fell in love.
Cute.
And it was, again, a beautiful day, and that was really nice. Friday we went to Cracker Barrel for dinner.
Shut up. I love Cracker Barrel. Is it still as good as it used to be?
So, well, yes, it was very good. We went because it was the 1 year since his mom had passed, and she really liked Cracker Barrel, so we're like, that's like a nice way to remember her.
That needs to be a tradition. I love that.
Yeah. And then I got pretty bad shits later that night.
Oh God, no, not Cracker Barrel. Don't do it to us.
But I don't like. I would still go again. Grandma's breakfast platter.
Oh my God, it sounds so good.
It was so good. So I got 2 scrambled eggs, bacon, and they did it extra crispy, and I love extra crispy bacon.
I'm with you.
2 pieces of French toast and hash brown casserole, which is just like cheesy potatoes, and it was so good.
God, that's a shame that you got the shits.
I know. It's not going to stop me from ordering it again. I just think I need to strengthen my stomach.
That's how I felt about Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like, anytime someone would be like, oh, it makes you feel like shit, it's like, yeah, but it's worth it.
Yeah. So my dad, not ironically, he said to Skylar once, like, yeah, I just can't eat healthy and my body doesn't like it. And I'm like, you have been eating unhealthily for so long that your body's like a vegetable, foreign object.
That's so funny because my one of my father-in-law, I feel like he's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Or Nathan's stepdad.
And I do need to say, like, he eats vegetables. He likes a salmon salad. My dad's favorite vegetable is asparagus, which I think is interesting for someone who identifies as not loving vegetables. That's a pretty controversial vegetable.
Yeah. I mean,
like, most people who don't like vegetables say, I like corn.
Oh, like basically a non-vegetable vegetable?
Or like potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is odd, I guess. Asparagus definitely is I don't know if I would say it's within my top veggies. But no,
Brussels sprout.
It's no sprout, baby. But yeah, no, Nathan's stepdad doesn't eat anything green.
Wow.
Yeah, nothing green.
I know I shouldn't care like what other people eat, but when people say I don't eat vegetables, I judge them.
It's fascinating to me.
And I'm like, I guess you can't control what your taste buds are, But it is just wild.
It's wild. I feel like there's a couple different things that I find fascinating. One, we used to work with someone who, like, food didn't matter to them. And that world blows my mind.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I know some
they
people
eat
like
for
that.
sustenance. They don't, because they have to, not because they enjoy it. That's a mind blower.
I knew someone who would eat, like, essentially, like, bars for soldiers. Not just like, oh, meal replacement protein bar. Like, no, literally a bar that's like 550 calories, and it's literally to fully replace a meal.
Because they don't enjoy food. That is, I'm like so thankful I'm not that kind of person. And then I've known people that are just like, your cheese pizza, your hamburgers no cheese, or cheeseburger, like basic things. They like chicken tenders and fries.
Yeah.
They won't eat anything unique. And those people also fascinate me.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you live your whole life on like chicken nuggies and mac and cheese? Which, like, I don't think
You're
that's
not
a terrible
getting your nutrients.
life. Yeah, but like, also, I need some variety. Give me some Indian food, Jamaican food, Chinese food, Mexican food.
Say more.
Everything outside of just basic mac and cheese and chicken tendies, and I'm
always very Greek impressed by kids who have a wide palate.
Yeah.
Of what they like to eat.
One of my friend's kids likes sushi and pho. They like love going to get pho.
Whoa.
And they're like, they were doing this, like, it was like their mother, like, daughter date, I think, really young. Yeah. They would go in Carytown to the pho spot. And I'm like, oh God, I love that.
My eldest niece would just like eat grape tomatoes like they were grapes.
I mean, I do that.
I think I just really don't like tomatoes. I also don't think I like a beef steak, like a tomato you can put on a sandwich.
But you would never eat it as an apple?
No. I'm getting more into them, but I also don't think it's like little kids as liking tomatoes.
Oh yeah, no, that's
and so
not
that's why I find it strange.
But I was a weird kid. I liked my vegetables.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I was abnormal though, apparently.
Yeah, you're a freak.
Man, food. My whole world revolves around food. That's why I don't understand a world where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Do we have a topic for the day?
Oh, man, we didn't really plan that, did we?
No, we did not.
We could do better.
Yeah, I could
jar pull?
Grab the jar. Okay. Hold please. Hold music.
I'm glad that you did it because I was thinking about trying to do hold music.
Sorry, I just smacked my mic, so hopefully it didn't make a loud noise and I didn't fuck up the sound. Oh, I thought you were doing like
kind
like
of. That's where it started.
Show. Okay. I feel like we've done this one before.
If we've talked about it, we can pull another.
Morning and night routines?
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, okay.
Been done. I done did this before.
Thank you notes.
Thank you. Wait, we've talked about this in the previous seasons though, like long time ago.
Oh, okay. I have strong opinions.
Yeah, no, and I also want to include within this topic not just thank you notes, but also like holiday cards.
Ooh, okay.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Let's go in.
So, mail correspondence.
Yeah. Actually, that's it. Yeah, I like that. Because like, here's
postal correspondence.
I feel like different people express things different ways. And as someone who loves when I receive thank you notes, I'm like, oh, this is so like thoughtful.
You do love receiving a thank you note?
I think it's so thoughtful. It's like, I mean, and typically the ones that I've received have like, they're not just a forced thank you note. I've received some that are forced, which in my mind, those are a waste of time. But like the thank yous that are random, it's like, hey, it was so great seeing you, you know, thanks for driving out to meet me for whatever it is, or something along those lines. And I mean like a legit card in the mail.
Yeah.
And then usually it's the few people that I know that send like these types of notes or cards in the mail. Those, I'm like, that's the best thing ever. But as someone who loves getting them, I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't reciprocate any type of, I just don't. I don't put pen to paper and put some shit in the mail.
Did you write thank you notes for your wedding?
I did, and it seemed dumb.
Well, see, what's interesting is I went to your wedding. I contributed a gift. And I have no idea if you sent me a thank you note or not. I'm assuming you did. I just asked if you did.
Yeah.
But But I don't remember.
Yeah.
But there are people who remember. But I think that's our parents' generation.
Well, yes, but also, like, I get the purpose of it. It's just, like, is it an actual thank you when you know the person just sat down and wrote 100 of these?
Yeah.
With the exact same thing in them?
You know, okay. What I would prefer is when you are using that item, or your kid is in that adorable onesie I got them.
Yes.
Or you're rubbing their butt cream on and you're like, thank you, use this in a pinch. And you can text me that you thought of me with that. That's great.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because then it's meaningful.
Yeah. And our friend Justin gave us a trash can for our wedding that was on the registry. And he was like, in his car, was like, I hope when you think of trash, you think of me. And now we're always like, yeah, Justin gave us that trash can. And I love that.
See, that's great.
And I gifted my friend a squatty potty once for her birthday because I knew she wanted one. She's like, every time I poop, I think of you. And I love that.
See, but did they send that in the mail?
No, they just told me.
I think,
and regularly when they appreciate their squatty potty, she's like, yeah. And I appreciate you, my friend, Rachel.
I think you're right about the generational thing. But I also think that some people just are, like, the reason that I remember those cards that I get sent from people who are just thoughtful and, like, I value those is because it's not just a generic, like, thanks for getting me the thing I had on my registry.
Yeah. And now, granted, we still will get thank you notes from things that are like, it was so great having you, like, come to our baby shower and the gift, and it's from people we love, and the note is thoughtful.
Yeah.
But
you didn't need to put the time in for that.
Yeah, so I'm not appreciative. I'm more so am like, if you did this because you wanted to, then thank you.
Yeah.
But if you did this because of societal pressure, and I say that, if I'm to have an event in the future where thank you cards are a thing, then I'm going to send them, probably. And I'm part of the problem because I'm not cutting off. And maybe I could just be like, if you are in this age bracket, then I will send you a thank you note.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to do it.
But I also know I have, like, friends' moms who will be like, yeah, I know that Jen didn't send me a thank you note from that wedding I went to 7 years ago. Guess I don't know if she got that fruit plate.
See, and that's what my mom said. Like, post-wedding stuff. She was like, people are going to ask because they won't know that you got it. And I'm like, they won't know that I got the check that is deposited.
Before we even, so I'm sure you experienced this. You probably got some gifts before your wedding.
Yes.
Because they just ship it to your house.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my mom's friends had asked my mom, like, oh, well, we don't know if Rachel got it because we haven't gotten a thank you note. Our wedding hadn't even happened yet. And granted, that probably would have been smart of me to just do them as I got them, to not do them all at once. But I was like,
that was my plan.
Wait till the wedding.
Yeah, that's what I did. I waited till the wedding.
Because I was dealing with enough stuff.
I didn't open it. I didn't open this gift. Something came in the mail and I left it at the side.
Yeah.
So, no, I haven't gotten your gift yet.
Yeah.
Aunt Barbara.
Yeah. But then also, and maybe this is, I don't know if this makes me a good person or just a suck up.
Oh.
Of, like, people that I know really appreciate a thank you note.
Ooh.
If I, like, they do something for me or, like, I stay at their house or something, I'm like, I know they're going to appreciate this. So that's why I write the thank you note.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that actually is why they should be written in the first place. Because the thank you note's not for you. It's for the other person.
Yes. Yeah.
But am I just doing it because I know that they're going to like me more because I wrote them a thank you note?
Is that the only reason why you do it?
I don't know. I feel like it's like, I know that they like this, so I'm going to. Mm-hmm. But then I also am like, ugh. And they're going to be like, oh, Rachel's so great.
I mean, I feel like I've done thank you gifts for people who have done, like, watched Penny.
Yeah.
And, like, in scenarios like that, especially when I'm like scrambling last minute, and one of my friends steps up and takes Penny for the weekend, which is like always the best thing ever as a dog owner. And so I will try to like, it won't be a written card in the mail.
Yeah.
But I'll either try to do an Amazon gift card or a bottle of wine the next time I see you, or I definitely will send a message about like how appreciative I am. Thank you so much, blah blah blah. Text or something. And so I do feel like in those, but again, I'm not sending it in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah. I especially think of baby showers.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you are a grown-up person. You do not need a thank you note from me. And I have started writing in my cards to people, please do not write me a thank you note.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. But granted, if they're already writing thank you notes, they're not making an extra mental note that they don't need to write me one.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I've also been to showers that's like, I don't know, in the invitation or somewhere, it was just like, as a gift to the new mom, we are saying you don't have to write thank you notes. And that was just like shared with the party.
Oh, I like that.
And I did like that. And that puts it on the host to be like, I'm saying you're not going to do this.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I don't
also,
understand
when you are, especially when you're opening gifts and everyone's there and you're like, yeah, I'm telling you thank you. And I actually care more about that than the note that I'm going to read and then throw away.
That's exactly where I was going to go, is that I already have to sit here and open these gifts in front of you and act surprised like I got something that I didn't know I was getting, even though everything's off my fucking registry.
But Jen's very grateful for everyone who has ever gotten her a gift.
Totally. But like, I'm just putting myself in the shoes of those experiences. It's like, now I have to go back. Yeah. Now I have to go back after I gave you the joy of seeing me open your gift.
Yeah.
Now I have to go back through and write a thank you note? Yeah. Oh my God, what a nightmare.
Yeah, and I realize hearing you say that sounds really shitty.
It does. Yeah, it does. I think I made it sound shittier too. Probably than it needed to be.
You're like, you're going to give me a gift and I'm going to thank you once and you want me to thank you twice? Jesus.
Get the fuck out of here. So yeah, that was rough.
But like, also, yeah,
it's weird, right? Like because I mean, we've talked about this when we talked about baby showers, about like having to then open that gift in front of people, and that's like a requirement.
Yeah.
And so, but then the next requirement from that, after you've already said thank you in person and open the gift in person with these people, now you have to go back and send a card. Like, you don't have enough that's going on.
A friend of mine, I got like a thank you card from her wedding, I think a year and a half later. And she texted me and said, we were having work done on our house and I was in the middle of writing thank you cards, and to get stuff out of the way, I shoved them all in this drawer. And then I found like 20 of them that I never sent.
Shipped out.
And I'm like, wow, you could have never sent
that. Could have done without
and
that.
I wouldn't have known. And I just remember it now because it was that I honestly probably wouldn't even remember if she hadn't texted me and we like joked about it because I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I mean, I remember people that didn't get us gifts until almost a year or more later. And I didn't send them thank you cards.
Yeah.
You were late. You missed my time that I allocated.
I've already written these.
To put a thank you note down. And when you gave me the gift, I said thank you. Yeah. So, yeah. Whoops.
But then there are also sometimes people are like,
I don't know.
Oh, well, what did so-and-so, aunt blah, 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 give you for a gift? And I'm like, I have no idea.
No fucking clue.
Except, I say that, though. I remember Justin gave us a trash can.
Yeah, but that's a memorial gift. Memorable gift.
In memoriam.
Memoriam.
To your singledom. Here, we're throwing your singlehood in the trash. I also am such an environmentalist that I'm like, oh, am I going to just take this piece of stationery, write you a thank you note, and then you are going to go, aw, and then put it in Justin's trash can?
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah. And now I will sometimes,
recycle
and then it's like with the really sweet ones, I'm like, oh, I should hold on to this. And then you put it on your mantle for a month and you're like, I never read it again, but also it's going in the trash.
I don't know. Those ones that I told you about, like the really nice, thoughtful, like cards that I've gotten, I have a box filled with those cards. So people, when you spent time and wrote a card to me, I 100% guarantee I still have it.
Oh, wow.
But if the card is just a thank you for time that we spent together in person, and it's not like I appreciated the card, but I probably didn't save it.
What needs to be in my card for you to hold on to it?
More than just thanks for the gift.
But what if it's like, Jen, thank you so much for standing by my side at the wedding. It meant so much to me.
That's a keeper.
And also for the salad bowl. But that's all it says.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm going to make some salads in that.
To your point, Heather sent me a thank you note from her wedding, Citizen Heather, and I still have it.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't just, I don't know, some of them just seem to mean more, I guess. And so I hold on to them.
I get that. I'm being pretty hateful, but I also do have cards that I've kept.
Yeah. I don't know how I make that. I mean, I've kept every single card that my parents have given me and every card that my grandparents gave me before they passed for every holiday and event. And half the time it was just love, Nammy, and Peepaw.
Yeah.
It was just a...
Mammy and Peepaw?
Nammy with an
Nammy and Peepaw.
Yeah, that was my mom's parents.
That's cute.
But I kept all those cards, so I have all of that.
Yeah, I have...
Hoarder.
A lot, if not... probably not all, but like a lot of cards my grandma had sent me, but she also like made her own stationery with like pressed flowers, and so we like have those framed around the house. But I'm also really glad because I kept like birthday cards from my granny, and my sister-in-law wanted to make my mom a necklace that said, so my mom is granny to her grandkids, and her mom was granny to me. And so cute. I was like, go into my childhood bedroom. On one of these shelves is a box of notes and cards, and feel free to go through them. It'll probably be some embarrassing high school notes, but also I know there's a card for my granny in there. And so she took that and took where my granny had signed it Granny and had that made into a necklace to give to my mom, who is Granny.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so a reason to keep cards.
Yeah,
for handwriting because it matches the
Yeah, that's a cool. What a thoughtful gift too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. They're gonna get thrown in the trash, which is why I also wanted to include like holiday cards, because although I love getting the holiday cards because it, as part of my Christmas decor, is to line up all the cards that we get.
To do that. We hang them.
It's great. Love seeing them. Love getting them. We don't send one ourselves, and we never send anything follow up from that. We just get the card. We
what would
lay
you
it out.
send follow up? Thank you for the card.
I don't know. Do you?
No, that's
we
weird.
don't. Okay, cool.
Yeah, my mom always says, if you don't send them, you'll stop getting them.
See, we've talked about that, and that's where I'm like, I'm hopeful that's not the case. I love that I'm on y'all's mailing lists, the people that I'm on their mailing list right now. Don't take me off. I do really appreciate your card if you need someone to send it to.
If you're in my close circle, you're always going to get a card. If we're sending one, we go randomly when we feel the itch. Yeah. We do one. Skylar actually brought up that we need to do our halfway to the holidays photo shoot.
Yep.
I have a really good idea for it. I'm just not sure the best execution. And I don't want to share it here because I want people to be surprised if it comes.
if you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we end up sending it.
Well, and every year I feel like I love seeing the ones that I get from people, and I'm like, maybe we'll do a card one year.
Yeah.
We don't.
But I also want one with pictures.
Yeah. I mean, obviously ours would have Penny all over it.
Like, it's just a card that says Merry Christmas, which is so nice. They're thinking of you.
No, I want pictures.
But also, I want the pickies.
Yeah, because I'm not on the socials. Yeah. And so I love seeing updates of people and seeing
my friends. And I'm like, wow, your kid. She's bigger.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Because in your mind, you don't age people.
Yeah. But also,
I don't.
Sending, you're right. You don't. You're still middle school, 6 years old. Mailing those out is expensive because stamps now are basically $1, and
per one that
then you're like, so even I mean, I think they're, I don't know, like 80 some cents right now or something.
Oh wow.
But that could be wrong. I know they're more than 50 cents.
Yeah.
And
well, especially if you do the auto thing on like those sites where they're sending it
so
out.
let's just say on average $1 per send. So if you send 50, that's $50 just to get them in the mail. Mm-hmm. And then you have to pay
for the stock
to get them printed.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
So when you get a holiday card from me, just know money went into that.
You're worth the $2
yeah.
or $5 that it took.
Well, not $5.
I don't know. I'm just going on the high end.
Yeah, I'm like, I gotta put the per household cost analysis. Because, of course, that's what I'm doing is I'm putting my spreadsheet together of who to send this to. And I'm like, okay, this is the total investment to spread joy.
And do I want to spread joy to this person or not?
But you know what I will say? When we've just done a regular holiday card, I think joy is spread. But the halfway one, that was a winner. And sometimes, we've done a New Year's one. Mm-hmm. And, I like going against the grain.
Yeah.
So I'm not just mixed in with everyone else's holiday joy.
Yeah, but then, I guess technically then when you do those one-offs, you make the fridge for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas the holiday cards get the layout, but there's a bunch of cards with them.
People told us that they just kept our card out until Christmas when the other ones came.
Damn, we didn't.
Yeah. Well, you don't let me.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
I should have kept it up until to lay out with all the other holiday cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I like being on your fridge randomly for a couple weeks in the middle of the year.
Yep. Yeah, but then I throw the holiday cards out.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom asked me last year when we did so for folks who don't know, I realized Skylar and I sent out a halfway to the holidays card. So in like July, it was just, we did a little photo shoot of us in our summer clothes, but Santa hats, and said happy halfway to the holidays. And my mom said, so are you not going to send a card around Christmas? And I'm like, we already spent $100 on this.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Hang on a minute. Why? Why would we need both?
No, I also really enjoyed being able to check off that task and be like, that is done for the year.
My Christmas gifts to everyone has been completed.
And to all a good night. Yes.
May, June. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I just feel bad when
I'm surprised you didn't do one when you got married. Because also I was like, oh, that's such an easy one. You already have professional photos.
What do you mean?
If you were to send out a holiday card.
Oh, shit. I mean, there would be wedding photos.
Yeah.
Meh.
But like you also aren't on social, so people haven't seen your wedding photos. So they would get excited to see that. But like you would get excited if I sent a card with like...
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm excited to see
that. People care about your life too, Jen.
No.
Especially those pictures of like you, Nathan, and Penny.
Yeah. I feel like Penny's the star.
Yeah.
I need to...
That's why we always make sure to throw Ruby in there when we can.
Yeah. I need to make sure I incorporate her into more of our family stock photos that we send out to no one.
Yeah.
We don't do it. If I were to do it, though, I feel like I can imagine designing one that has not a single picture of Nathan and I, and it is a million pictures of Penny.
People would like that, too.
That is, I mean, but that's like just my camera roll.
Yeah.
Like my photo roll.
I would also like, though, if you did like a letter of like Penny's updates for the year.
Ooh, I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, we've got ideas.
Yeah. We're brainstorming.
I do have
You're still not going to do it, but...
I won't.
That's okay.
But I like throwing around ideas.
Yeah.
The brainstorming sesh here is legit. Oh, thank you, notes, God. What other type of cardstock? Like birthday cards? Not many people still send birthday cards.
I have...
Which is nice.
I get birthday cards from some people. For that, I do think is kind of nice.
Is it?
Like, because that's like, on your birthday, you're getting a little surprise treat in the mail. Like, oh, someone sent me a birthday card. Like, I actually think it would be nice if I started doing that because people just don't get birthday cards. My mom sends us a card for our anniversary, for birthday, happy Halloween.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Mom, you are going above and beyond.
Yeah, she loves a card. I have so much stationery that has been gifted to me, and I refuse to spend like $3.99 on a card at the store.
Yeah.
So I will just like whatever stationery I have and then like write like happy birthday and a nice note. But that's my thing. I'm like, what makes the happy birthday card special is that I am writing you a personal note. I'm not just saying, read this poem in this purchase card and signing my name.
Yep.
So that's what I do.
I feel like in my 20s, when I was doing cards here and there, like birthday cards and stuff, they were all a piece of print paper that I folded in half and drew on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big fan of that because I'm not spending, like you said, even the 99-cent cards. They never got my money.
Yeah, maybe we have, like, we've been doing this, like, podcast now for a year or over a year, and I wonder if we have talked about this because I'm having a deja vu moment of saying, I'm going to write you a thank you for being a friend card randomly, and I never did that.
Thank you for being a friend.
Just so I can be included in your pile that you'll never read again, but one day you will pass and your future children will be like, oh, we're going through mom's stuff. And they're like, oh, who was this Rachel chick? Must have been good friends with Granny or Mom.
Damn, I went from a mother to a grandmother in the same sentence. That was impressive. Yeah, no, my box of collected stuff, some of that stuff needs to get dumped. Like, I don't think anyone should read some of the things that are in there. Just notes passed around in high school. The shit that is.
Though I kind of think that's fun. Like if I found that of my parents,
it was fun when I found it.
Yeah, I was like, it's fun for me when I read those because I still have that shoebox.
I was like sending pictures to some of my friends of like, do y'all remember this?
Yeah, and that makes me be like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't throw all these away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good.
But it is funny to read an entire note that is just you mentioning inside jokes that you have no memory of.
Yeah. Like you forgot all the stuff that you did.
Yeah, it's also embarrassing to see how you wrote.
Oh, my handwriting was dog shit.
Oh, I'm not talking about handwriting. I'm talking about like how you spoke in your note.
Don't even go there because it is embarrassing as shit.
And like, I imagine it's what it would be like if I was still on Facebook and it was like your memories, because I think I probably got on Facebook in 2007 and just the way I spoke.
It reminds me of how
cringe,
we would,
as the kids would say.
Cringe. It reminds me of how we talked in AOL Instant Messenger.
Yes.
Was that the Instant Messenger?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what my notes are.
Yeah.
Is exactly how I would type.
Me and my high school friends used to write notes in pictures. So we were very creative. That's how much we weren't listening in school.
You're drawing
so like
pictures?
If you were saying I, you would draw an I, and some of them we find them now and trying to like decipher them, and it's really
let me
funny.
decode this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good though. I never even thought to put a coding system.
Yeah.
In case someone else gets their hands on it.
But there wasn't anything interesting. It was literally just because this is something I can do besides listening in history class.
Oh my gosh. I was surprised with how few notes, well, like in my mind in high school, what are the things that you would talk about? Boys.
Yeah. Hanging out after school.
Yeah. Things that you're doing. But I was surprised at how many notes that I had kept that were literally just my friends and I talking about, like, good luck at the game. Oh, hey, way to go at your game.
There are no substance in some of these.
Yeah. It's like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones I like.
Because you would spend time in class just writing a note to waste time.
Yeah.
She'd be like, this is what we're talking about in class. I don't really have anything to say, but you're my friend.
I'm bored.
And I'm bored. Here's a picture. And then you would give it to them.
Yes.
Do kids still write notes in class?
No. I don't think they do. I would be really curious. Because
Citizens,
you have a phone.
let us know.
We didn't have phones.
But a lot of schools, you can't have your phones.
Oh. Well, then maybe they're going to go back to the old school thing.
But they all have computers. So my friend, who is a teacher, and granted, I don't know if it's just because she teaches engineering and like coding and stuff, so they have computers. But she's like, I can see all their screens like through the software that's on the computer, so I can like check and see. Sometimes people are like, what the fuck is she wearing today? And she'll like call them out, be like, I like this sweatshirt, thank you.
Thank you. That's funny.
Yeah,
no, they need to go to notes. Need to go to
like, the kids just
have
pencils.
Leave the paper
That
trail.
sounds so stupid. They learn how to write.
I would hope so. Yeah.
But like, when does that go away? Like, I don't think kids are learning cursive anymore.
Oh God.
And honestly,
why do you need to learn cursive?
Did anyone need to learn cursive?
To sign those checks, baby.
Yeah, and I'm like, can you not cash a check if it's written in print? Because I think you can.
Oh.
I don't know.
What if you printed your name on as a signature?
Yeah. Like, why is it... And, like, your signature can just be a scribble, and it's considered a signature. Why is that different than just writing your name?
This is a valid question. I don't have the answer.
It's dumb.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb when you call it out like that. We learned cursive. You had to learn how to write the word in plain, and cursive.
Now, yeah. Plain and cursive. Wow, and then I remember you would be like, do we have to write in cursive? Like, you would ask that about, like,
for the
essays
task
and
or whatever.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I want to go home and be like, Skylar, write me a check. And when I endorse it, I am going to, because I was like, I can't be with a check someone for real writes me because I don't want them to have to rewrite me a check.
Yeah.
But not that anyone's writing me checks. Actually,
Cash App, Venmo.
Okay.
Hello.
I will say, my sister-in-law's mom and dad, they always send me a birthday card. And there's always like $20-$25 in there.
A check.
And a check, yeah. And
I
think that's dope.
I think that's badass.
It's so exciting.
What a great thing to get in the mail.
To get that, I'm like, hell yeah!
It could have $5 in it, and I'd be like, this is fucking awesome.
I have actually had the idea. I've not started this tradition, but I was like, oh, it'd be fun to, like, for my nieces, like, for each birthday, give them the dollar amount of their birthday.
Yes, that would be
even
cool.
It's like, oh, you're 30. Here's $30. And, like, do it forever.
Ooh, I was going to say stop at maybe 30 or 35.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Not that it's costing me much. It's just
if they ever have children, then I would just do it for their children. That's when it stops.
Yeah, you switch. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good.
And if they don't, then I think it's funny to be like, they just turned 46 and their oldest fuck aunt just sent them a check for $56.
46, unless they're also turning 56.
I can't remember what numbers I said. But
fine.
Like, I'm 100 in the nursing home, and I'm like, here's your check.
Can you tell me how old she's this year?
Yeah.
I need to write a check.
Right.
Are checks going to be around forever? They're getting rid of the penny.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that today. Do you know it costs like 3 cents to make the penny?
Yeah.
And so now all stores are just going to have to round up, which makes sense.
Yeah.
No more of this $2.99 shit. Everything's $3 because that was stupid.
Yeah. Apparently they're going after the nickel next. Or they're saying that we should go after the nickel because it's also costs a lot of money to produce a nickel.
Right.
It costs more than it's worth to produce a nickel.
And Europe, they have a lot of coins. I guess that's
But it circulates in their economy. Like, people still use cash.
Really?
Whereas, like, the problem with the U.S. is
they went cashless before we did,
It doesn't circulate. Huh?
I feel like Europe went to tap to pay before we did.
Yeah, they had that option, but they didn't completely, like, I feel, and I'm not talking on my ass here, but in my mind, America was just like, wait, we don't have to carry cash with us, and I wouldn't say everyone, it's just maybe like the majority of the population winds up like just fully shifting to plastics, whereas like in Europe, it's still a combination of both.
Interesting.
And there's still a lot of places, I feel like, at least when I've traveled, where they only accept cash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Or like places prefer cash if you're like at a market or something in another country.
Whereas because we've shifted pretty much away from cash, and it's so much so that it's impacting the production of coins.
Isn't it wild that like we have a coin jar in our house, and I'm sure there are pennies in there. And one day I'll be like, oh, look, Grandma, what is this copper-colored metal? And you're like, in my day, we paid with pennies.
The craziest thing is they were estimating that roughly every household has $60 to $90 in pennies. Just
pennies?
Pulled away. It may have been coins in general. But
I would probably guess, because we don't have a lot of change.
Coins
like
in
the like little jar we have that has some coins in it, I'm like, maybe there's $20 in there.
I have one of those massive bottles of
Like a water jug?
Yeah, like where you could just put coins in it, and it was, or it is 3/4 or two. Yeah, about halfway full.
Oh wow.
Like it was pretty and that's the base. So I guess probably it was 3/4 of the way full, because the base gets smaller at the top.
Yeah.
So the fat part was filled.
Yeah.
And it was and I now still don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, you could take it to a Coinstar, but they're gonna take a cut.
Yeah, which I'm okay with, because it's not like I have any money in my pocket right now. I'm not using it.
Yeah,
Coinstar.
my mom would, when they had a bunch of change, they're like, if you roll it up, you can keep it.
Yeah, I think that's
I
how
would just
some of
like
the places
be in the
are.
living room, like rolling up pennies and nickels, and we got to keep whatever the.
But that's the way to
cost
do it,
was,
because then you can take that and actually do. I mean, like, I'm not gonna walk in with like an unrolled amount of pennies. So.
Yeah, you know, just related to change, something that was fun as a kid when we would go on our like annual beach trip. My parents would get us, I think it was like $20 in quarters each sibling, and every time was like, oh, if you won't stop like fighting with each other or something, they would take a quarter.
Cost a quarter.
And so it's like, yeah, when you're 10, you get $20. Hell yeah. But like, you need to not make this trip miserable for everyone.
I was about to ask.
I don't know if they actually ever took quarters. Like, I don't remember them actually taking it, but I remember
what do you do with the quarters? Like, did you like my mind? I was like, oh, there's a cool arcade at the beach or something.
Oh yeah, and we could like buy candy or like go to the little beach stores and buy stupid shit.
Cute.
But I also remember my brother trying to like teach me how to play poker to get my quarters.
That's smart.
So we must have been like old enough that at one point, or maybe it was like 21 or something.
That's cool.
Playing
I like
blackjack. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh man, he
was trying to hustle me.
I'm like about to completely. I mean, we've already shifted away from thank you notes to coins.
Right.
But I just
topic of coins.
For some reason, when you mentioned that, I thought of pogs.
Oh, I still have my
world of pogs. Oh my gosh!
I had an Oreo slammer that I was obsessed with.
I am jealous that I don't think I still have mine.
Yeah,
but like, what a world! Because we would play that game, like those games for pogs, but also quarters.
Yeah, I remember going into like craft stores just had bins of pogs, and like sifting through and finding the design you want. It was a circular piece of cardboard with a design on it.
Unless you got the hard ones, the plastic ones.
Yeah, but the slammers.
That's what. Yeah, God, I don't even remember all the.
I don't even know if I played the game pogs. I just like to collect them. Same with Crazy Bones. Did you ever have those?
Oh God, no. What is that? Because I feel like I know what that is.
They're like these tiny figurines.
Nope, I never did Crazy Bones.
Okay, I was into Crazy Bones.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I was like, it sounds familiar, but no, I was definitely.
I had a bag of them, and the bag looks like the bag that like Crown Royal comes in, the purple bag. So as a kid, I would see that and be like, Crazy Bones. And my mom's like, no, that's liquor.
It'll make your bones crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
No, that was
when you're younger, you have Crazy Bones, and when you're older, you have Crown Royal. Crown Royal. Casino Royal, Casino Royale. It's Casino Royale.
So is it Crown Royale?
I don't know. We gotta go.
We gotta be better.
Yeah.
We gotta better.
Well, citizens, thank you so much for listening. If you have comments, questions, feedback, you can DM us. You can comment on this episode. You can email us at similar-but-different-pod. And if you haven't left us a review, please do so. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We read them all, and we love to hear from you.
We do love them. They're my favorite.
Ta-ta, citizens.
Love ya.
This is good. It's succinct.
I like it. It's clean.
It's clean. It's fresh.